Welcome to UCMU 102 Navigating Compass. In this tutorial, you will learn how to upload a story to the Compass page. First thing we need to do is to log into CommonSpot, which will be http://author.oit.ohio.edu/secure.cfm. Okay. So now that takes you to this page here, and as you can see, Compass is my option because I'm going to upload a page in the Compass. Okay, now it brings up the Compass page. Now I'm going to show you a shortcut that you can do to avoid having to go through all of the different directories to get to the month of August. So since I have other stories already in here, what I can do is find a story that was already built from scratch, like we're doing. So this one says President McDavis shares personal reflections. I click that, and there's the story. And so now I want to go to this yellow pencil in the top right-hand corner, click that, and I want to view this page in CommonSpot. Okay, now I'm in CommonSpot, and as you can see, I got 3 bars. My CommonSpot is a gray bar. I got a dark blue bar where I can do properties, actions, manage, links, templates, and view. And then I have a gray bar, Ohio, Compass, stories. And this is the one that's key because this is our directory, and this tells CommonSpot where we want this story placed. So I want it in Compass, stories, 16-17 school year, and 08 for August. So now I'm going to build a new story. All I have to do is click the 08 folder, and these are all of the stories that we have submitted in August. As you can see, just a nice scroll down list there. So now, since I'm already in the August box, I just want to hit new, and I want to hit page because I'm building a new page. If I was going to register a page from another website that's not Compass or anything like that, I would hit register URL and just put the address, and it's a much shorter process. So that's a different thing. But since I'm going to build a page, I'm going to hit page right there. So now I get this create page box, and you can see my 08 folder for August is highlighted. So that's the right one. I click next. So now I'm in the template gallery in our process. If I click the category box, I get a long list of areas where I can put this story. So if you go down, you'll see UCM Compass, and that's my selection. So I want to put it in Compass, and I just click next. And here I got my template gallery page, and there's 2 options that we typically use. We use Compass Photo Essay when we have large photos with we need a lot of space for captions. So that's the option we use when we set up a photo essay. And then typically we just use this Compass Story Final, which we'll use today. So I click that, highlight it, and click next. So now I got my create new page, also known as your standard metadata page. So this is a key page because this is where I'll put my URL extension. So this story is going to be about, let's call it Pete Souza Award. And I put hyphens in there to separate those words. That's how we do our extensions here at Ohio University Compass. So it asks me for my title, my headline basically. So let's say Pete Souza named Photographer of the Year. It's a good title. I can also use that in my title bar caption. The same thing I typically put in both categories. And so the description is just an area where you tease the reader into letting them know basically what the story is going to be about. So it's basically like a short commercial that says this is what the story is about. And most people use a nut graph of the story that just kind of summarizes what's going on. So in this, I can type it in. We're not going to have a this is a demonstration, so I'll say alumnus Pete Souza, comma, White House photographer, wins national award for his great work. Okay, so now people, when they see that, they'll know what this story is about. Okay, so in my category, once again, I click that, get a long list of options. I want to go to UCM Compass again. That's where I want to route the story to. Here in the keyword box, I can add a keyword or select from the keywords. So if I want to select, I click select keywords. We have some already built in. As you can see, a bunch of different ones. Or I can actually type my own in here. And so this one, let's say we want to call it photographer. And I just return that. And see, now we got college photographer of the year, student photographer options. So let's just say, for this sake, we want to use student photographers. So that if somebody puts student photographers, they'll see this story. So now I click use selected words, and that shows up in the box. Publication date is the current time. If I wanted to switch that and make it later, I can click this box and switch the time down here. This is like a military time designation. It's 1,400 hours and 59 minutes, almost 1,500 hours. I could change that. I can change the date. I can change the month. I can do all that right there. Most of the time you'll leave that the same because you want the story to go up as soon as you approve it. This page index box is automatically checked. If I didn't want this story to go live after I completed it, I could uncheck that, and then when I was ready for it to come back and to go up on Compass Live, I can come back in here to my standard metadata page, which is also known as create new page, and click that box again. So I'll leave it for now. Next. So now we got the custom properties box, which is also known as the custom metadata page. So on this one, I want to click Compass categorization. This is the page where we route the story. And we also add any kind of pictures. If we want to put the story on the front door with a picture, or just on the front door with a headline, we use this section here, front door image. If we want to put the story in the top of the Compass page where there's 4 top stories, we use a slideshow image box and the top story designation right here. You click that instead of none. And then on the right column of Compass, there's categories, which are listed here actually, minus the health one, which we replaced. You see campuses, faculty, staff, students, etc. This is where you would put that feature story where you have the little 100 by 100 picture, and I would select the image there and then click headline. So I'll show you. The routing categories is typically, you can select as many as you want, but they need to make sense. Some of the categories are off limits unless the story is actually part of that area. Like President Communications is only for stories that when the president sends out all campus communications, we put the story on Compass or the letter, and then we add them into this category. So you would never click that box unless you were putting one of those stories up. And the same thing for a few others, like commencement is just for commencement. Most of the time you're going to use faculty and staff. These are all pages. Now you want to put the story on your faculty staff page if it's relevant to faculty and staff, or you want to click the current student box primarily if it's students would read it. And then the media, if it's something that the media would read, you click your media box. So for this one, this is Pete Souza, so he's faculty and staff, and then let's say media, okay? And then I can also click current students because the students can see that we have excellent faculty on campus, so I select that box also. All right, so I told you about the front door. If I had a big picture for the front door, I would select featured and then select the image here and load it. The slideshow image, these are 615 by 415 photos, and the 615 is the width. I would select that image, load it, and then click top story right here. And then when I approve the story, it would go up on the top area of Compass. Same thing with the Compass feature image. These are the little photos to the right in the different categories that I talked about earlier. So I would select the image 100 by 100 size and click the feature tab here, and that would send my picture there. One of the key things we always want to do when we route these stories is you always want to click headlines if you want it in your current headlines box at the top of the Compass page. And then also pick one other category, not including health, because we replaced that, so ignore that. So Pete Souza's faculty and staff, so I would click faculty and staff. So I got faculty and staff and headlines. Now, if I click, say, athletics also, because I want athletics people to see it or be in the athletics box, and students, and so all of these boxes that I choose would put that same story in them. So that's why I say only click headlines and then one other area, and that avoids duplication. Okay. So when we route these, when we add these pictures, this is one important point. You can have a top story, the top 4 photos on the top of the Compass page, and a feature image, which are the little 100 by 100 photos. You have to select one or the other. The system won't allow you to click top story and feature. So it's either going to be a small 100 by 100 feature image, or it's going to be a 615 by 415 pixel top story. So you have to select that. And then as far as the front door image, we always ask people to seek our approval because we control the front door as University Communication Marketing, and we just, it's such a recruiting page that we want to make sure that the appropriate stories are there. So now we're done with the custom metadata page. I would select save, and it's creating my new page. So now we're on the Compass page. We got a few options here. The 2 that we always use is the YouTube video here in the middle. It says click here to configure the YouTube video. We have a YouTube video. We click here, we add the address, brings up a little screen. You go through that process and save it. But here is the one we use for the most part, is to click here to create a news story. So I click that, and it gives me this. As you see, it picked up the headline from the metadata page. It's Pete Souza named Photographer of the Year. Okay, and then here is the date, publication date, which is always the current date. You can always change that. And then the author. So for this purpose, I'll say it's me, just to show you. And we always use by, and so it says by George Mozzie. I enter, oops, click that off. Okay, there you go, by George Mozzie. And so here in the big box is where we would have our text. So let's see, Pete Souza's an awesome guy. Let's use that as our first paragraph. Okay. So say the story says Pete Souza named Photographer of the Year will receive his award in January. And that's just, of course, you would have a longer story than that, but I just showed you for this purpose of that's where the text goes. And if you need to add a link, like a hot link, you can highlight any of the words. You know, I can highlight that and click this. It's a green ball with like a little paper clip type thing, and you would get a box that says add link. You put your URL of the website, and it would link it to the photographer page. That shows you how you can do that. You can bold, italicize, lots of different things. You can push the text left or center it, or push it right, and many, many other options. So we have our text, okay. So now up here, if you want to add a photo, say, okay, we want people to see what Pete looks like. I have 3 spaces for images, and then I have a caption space and then a credit. So let's say we want image 1, okay. So I have a new image, okay. So this is my target website. I need to choose my file. Oh, we have a picture of Pete Souza right there. Puts that in there. So what is the description? It's Pete Souza. category is it? There's different size pictures. Here it says Compass Inside Story 255 width. That's the one I want. You'll see all the different photo sizes in there as well as other things. Keyword, I'm not going to add a keyword. I showed you how to do that earlier. And then this little box here is for include in public image gallery, which for the most part you would leave alone. And so all of these boxes are filled. I would click save and then save again. And there's Pete. So now I want to add his caption. Pete Souza, credit type 1, say photographer, and I'll take the credit for this one. So I'll put my name in here. Now my third category and last one for building a story is story additional info. So what I want to do is say I want to send someone to the website for Scripps Communications, okay? So that they can read more about Pete, I have to put the text. I say Scripps College, right, of Communication. And you can also cut and paste, that would be easier. For all your URLs in CommonSpot, you have to have the entire address. So I would say, HTTPS ://www.ohio.edu. Let's just say it's communications, okay, or communication. It would appear on the right side of the story. They click the hot link and it would take them to the Scripps College. All right, so we go back to our story. We have all our boxes filled. There's Pete's picture and caption info. Here's a link to more information. And there's our story. Got my author tag in there and then headline. And if I had a subtitle, I could add something that accents the headline and says Pete Souza named Photographer of the Year, and then we could say faculty member wins award for third time. So that just adds a little bit to the headline. Just gets a little bit more information in there. So now everything's set. I can save it, and it will show you here in a second sort of what the story looks like. Okay, there it is. And what important key, it won't show you the headline and it won't show you the picture until the page is approved. Okay, so don't think that something's wrong. And unless you're an approver like myself as an editor of Compass, all you would do is if you click the yellow plus sign that comes up with the story, which means you need to submit it, you just click submit. If you need to go back and edit it, you hit edit data, and that would be it. And once you click the submit button, it would send the story to me or one of my colleagues, all of the approvers basically. We're all UCM people, and we would approve your story or edit it and do what we need to do, and your page will be up on Compass. This wraps up the presentation of UCMU 102 Navigating Compass. Please answer the following questions to complete this tutorial.